Welcome into a For What It's Worth episode 19. I'm your host, Calvin Silvers, and I'm joined by Erik Kellgren. Erik, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, just going through the days day by day.
Day by day. That's all you got to do. Take them one day at a time. Go with the flow. Another day, another dollar. I got plenty of them, but I like your thinking there. That's how I've been living my life. Just one day at a time. There's a lot of them ahead. So just take it one day at a time. And we got some NFC football to talk about. We usually venture into the AFC side. Well, I guess we'll talk a little AFC with the Ravens and Eagles here, but mostly NFC in this episode here. And like I mentioned, we're going to talk about that Eagles-Ravens game. Eagles win at 24-19, ending their lead in the NFC East with the second best record in the NFC. Lions still holding that best record. And in a second, Erik, we're going to get into who we think is the best team in the NFC. But let's stick on this game here for a second. Let's talk about the running back battle and what we saw. Barkley, 23 carries, 107 yards, and a touchdown. 61 of those yards of the 107 came in the fourth quarter, plus that touchdown came in the fourth. That put him up by a touchdown. So it was a clutch performance there, just standout really against a top 3 rush defense and the Ravens. And then Derrick Henry, 19 carries, 4.3 yard average. I would say use him more in the RPO, given his ability to hold on to the ball better than Lamar Jackson, for him to protect the ball better than Lamar Jackson, and the fact that he can take the hits more than Lamar Jackson. I would have handed the ball off to him more. I would have used him more in the RPO instead of relying on Lamar so much in his legs. I don't know if you got that vibe too, but what did you kind of see from this running back battle, or did Barkley outshine Derrick Henry here?
I was scrolling Twitter just before we started this, and I saw a clip that on Saquon's touchdown run, there was a blatant false start. So
yeah, you don't want to give him all the credit there.
But aside from that,
yeah.
I mean, Saquon's just been on it. Really Derrick Henry too, but Saquon's so fun to watch. Like, Derrick Henry's just like kind of a grinder for his yards, and Saquon's has like these electric runs. So it's it's a lot different style, but they're both great at their craft. But I mean, Saquon has to take, like, if there's a head to head in this game, Saquon definitely takes the cake there for sure. Because his team won. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, had the clutch
all that
touchdown.
Good stuff. Yeah.
Yep. No, I don't disagree with you there, and I agree in the fact that it's just two different styles of running, and it's two different styles of running back. But I keep going back to the fact that I get he had 19 carries, and I get for the most part he was contained, but he was averaging 4.3 yards a carry. He needs to be carrying the ball well over 20, and he had 19, but he needs to be well over 20. Even Barkley had 23. At least get Henry 23, see what he can do. Because like I said, the fact that Lamar, yes, he can do damage with his legs, but it comes to a point where we know Lamar's is going to keep it. We just know Lamar's going to keep it. This is what he does. He needs to be more balanced in handing it off. And there are times, and I get it, it's a read, but there are times that I believe you can give it to Henry, and he's just going to fall forward for 3 to 4 instead of Lamar trying to do something. And we saw it. I get it. They recovered it, but there's some fumbles that he had too. Come playoff time, I'd rather have Henry being hit than Lamar being hit. So, yeah, I would like to see Henry get the ball just a little more. And we talked about this last time, Erik, and I think it is still solidified, right, that Barkley is the engine, is the offensive, or the best offensive player, or maybe even the best player for the Eagles. Is that still stand true?
I think so. I think there's no way you can't say that, or at least make a very strong case for that.
Yep. Now, when it comes down to, and we'll get to it in a second here when we're talking who we think is the best team in the NFC, I brought this up because, it is still Barkley. Now, I know I'm not taking anything away from A.J. Brown. I know Devontae Smith didn't play, but Erik, every time we talk about the Eagles offense, who do we bring up?
Oh, Saquon, brother.
That's what I'm saying. We don't even. So far, have we even brought up Jalen Hurts?
No,
we haven't even brought up Jalen Hurts yet.
I forgot
because he's not a threat with his arm.
Yeah. I forgot what game it was, but I was texting my buddy Nate that like I had bet on the Eagles that game, and then I was like, I forgot I hate watching Jalen Hurts play quarterback.
Yep. Yeah,
Like it's
dude.
actually like he obviously has like sense of greatness, but like for the majority, I'm like, dude, what is this guy doing? I just
He has to do RPOs. He can't just simply drop back. That's
yeah.
just not his game. He can't do it. He's much better in the RPO action when you really have to, because Jalen Hurts is not a threat with his arm. He can make a couple passes here and there. He's an NFL quarterback. He's got Devontae Smith. He's got A.J. Brown. Like I said, I know Devontae Smith didn't play this last game, but I'm saying in general, he has him on his team. I get all that. But he's more dangerous with his legs. It's not his arm that's going to kill you. It's not. And so when he can do both, when you have to worry both about maybe Hurts pulling it and Barkley pulling off a big run, that's when he's most dangerous. That's what the Eagles have to stick with. Once they get Devontae Smith back and A.J. Brown's in there, they can't just all of a sudden try to pass more. They can't try to switch it up. They always have to go with the run. Always run first with the Eagles. Establish that. That's why Barkley is still your most important weapon, maybe on the team.
100%.
And two, another thing that we need to talk about with the Ravens. Let's talk about the Ravens here for a second. I think something that's
the elephant in the room here.
Well, what do you think is? I think we're thinking different here, but I want to know your elephant in the room here.
Oh, Justin Tucker for sure.
Okay, yeah, okay. Let's get to Justin Tucker here then. That's fine. Yeah. Did you know? Fun fact.
Is that what you were thinking? Is that what you were going to say?
No, but this.
Okay.
It's actually. I'm actually glad you brought it up because I kind of skipped over this. I wanted to bring this up and I skipped over in my notes here. Fun fact for you. I don't know if you knew this. Every time
I might have saw this on Twitter.
You might. Okay, maybe. But every time that Justin Tucker missed a field goal, the probability of winning dropped 28% every time. So those two he missed, it dropped at 28% of the win probability. And then I think the missed extra point even dropped it maybe by 28. I don't remember there exactly, but I know for a fact that the two field goals dropped it 28% every time. So that took a significant portion of their win percentage.
Yeah, it's quite literally a waste of a possession. I mean, you're
half almost.
Not even that's it's like a 60-yarder or whatever. He missed what? I don't know.
There's a 40-yarder too, I believe.
Yeah, like that should be like routine. That should be like that's literally a free throw. That should be like a 95% hit rate, and he's missed several. But the
Travis Kelce broke him.
Yeah, literally. The Ravens' 5 losses are by a combined 22 points this season. Justin Tucker has 22 points worth of missed kicks in the Ravens' 5 losses.
Yeah, that's not good.
Like in the games they lost, he has 22. Like not even like 22 throughout the season. In the games that they have lost, he's missed 22 points worth of kicks, and they've lost by 22 points.
And when it comes down to maybe playing someone like KC in the playoffs, when it's probably going to come down to a last-second field goal.
Right.
I mean, we saw with the Buffalo Bills, they missed it last year. They missed a field goal. You need a kicker, especially in the late stretch. So, yeah, even that stat, I did not see that one. But, yeah, that's crazy. I think he just has the yips. Something's wrong there. Yeah, he has to figure it out. I don't know. Mate, do you try another kicker? This is Justin Tucker you're talking about. One of the greatest of all time, if not the greatest of all time, having a big slump in his career right now. I don't know. Do you try someone else or do you ride out with him?
I don't know. I mean, he obviously has like the name, like he has the record, all that stuff. He is a good like kicker or whatever. But I mean, there's got to come a point where it's like, dude, you got to fix something or like sit down for like a couple games or something and just see.
Yep.
But it's that. He stood face to face with Taylor Swift, Black Magic, and it did not end well.
Nope. Do not mess with Travis Kelce. Punter for the Eagles, Braden Mann, he placed 5 of his 6 punts inside the 20.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot. I get that's the game of football. That's just great special teams, but that's a lot too. And yes, if Lamar's MVP caliber, this and that, he should be able to at least overcome some of that. But that's still a tall task for him to have to overcome too. So just great special teams by the Eagles, great defense, great secondary, even a great defensive line, a really good defensive line there too. It's just depth.
Cooper DeJean picked up Derrick Henry.
Yeah, pretty impressive there too. Hawkeye represent, but that Eagles defense is special. They got a lot of great players and just depth too. Jalen Carter, he's having an All-Pro season. he's had 4.5 sacks on the year, 12 tackles for loss, 12 QB hits, 12 games. Yeah, like I said, Blankenship had to go out. Tristan McCollum came in. He played really well. Cooper DeJean's playing well this season. Just great defensive line, great secondary. It's a defense you have to worry about, a defense that could really make some noise this year, I believe.
I think there was, back to the punt thing, I think there was 2 drives that started inside the 5, I'm pretty sure.
Well, and one of those was a huge momentum shift because they pinned it on the 1.
Yeah.
I believe that was the second quarter because they built the 9-0 lead.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it was just great special teams. You pinned them deep. They couldn't overcome it. You get good field position off of that. So, just a great game overall. And the fact that now the Ravens are struggling against division leaders and can't beat division leaders, I think that's a little worrisome.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I got to go Bills as the biggest threat. I don't think it's the Ravens anymore. I think it's the Bills to the Chiefs. I still think the Chiefs are the team to beat in the AFC. Why wouldn't they be? They still got the best record. They clinched the playoffs. I think the Bills
are division already.
Yep. So I think those are, and the thing too, I think, because who would you worry about? Think about it honestly. Like, let's be real, Eric, you and me, because we don't have a tie here to try to persuade us one way or the other with Denver.
Try to throw the Broncos propaganda around.
Yeah. Who should the Chiefs be scared of besides the Bills and the AFC? Houston's not that good, or as good as we thought. Let me rephrase that. Not as good as we thought.
Is the Broncos not having an explosive year as last year?
Yeah, Chargers. I'm not really worried about the Chargers. Broncos, no. You know what I mean? Like, besides the Bills, who's really that scary?
I don't know.
No one.
Yeah, I don't know.
Pittsburgh. Do you really think? We talked about Pittsburgh being a dark horse. Sure. Win or go home? Are they stop? Is Russell Wilson and Mike Tomlin stopping the Chiefs?
Yeah, I don't know.
Win or go home? Win or go home, Eric? Win or go home? Not regular season. Not regular season. Win or go home?
I don't know. Like, pretty much since what would it be? I don't know. 2021. I think the Steelers barely made the playoffs, and then they played the Chiefs and got absolutely waxed on. I remember because it was the first year that we were in our apartment in Northwest. And it was just like an absolute slaughtering. But it's like Tomlin has a above 500 season every year. He's been a head coach or whatever. And it's like, I feel like it's definitely different than that year because they were like 9-8. But if they, I don't know. I just don't think that. I think with the framing of the question, without the Bills in the picture, obviously, I think it is the Steelers most likely. Like, common sense, like it has to be Steelers. Like, they obviously lost to the Browns, whatever.
Yep.
But
so do the Ravens.
They're winning games without. Yeah, exactly. They're winning games without touchdowns, and then they're getting in shootouts with the Bengals and winning still. So it's like, they're winning both. They're winning both sides of football. Like, they're winning low scoring games where they don't have to score a touchdown by playing good defense, and then they are shooting, just scoring 60 points or whatever in a game.
Yeah,
but both teams combined.
Well, and I think with the Ravens too, they're so inconsistent. What Ravens are we going to see? What and are we going to are we going to give Henry the ball a lot, or are we going to rely on Lamar to use his feet? What Ravens are we going to see? Is the defense going to show up a little bit? Is Zay Flower going to catch the ball? He didn't have a problem last game, but we've seen players like that drop the ball in the Ravens sometimes throughout the year. So they're just so inconsistent. You just don't know what you're going to get from them. I don't necessarily hate saying the Steelers outside of the Bills. I do want to see how Justin Herbert and the Chargers do on Sunday night against the Chiefs before I go too much farther with this, in the sense that I want to see how this defense responds. I want to see if the defense is really becoming a question mark for the Chiefs and more of the secondary. I just want to see, because Chris Jones started getting it going, but can we see, the secondary still had some problems there. So we'll see there.
Yeah.
We'll see there. All right, that leads to my big question now: is the best team in the NFC? Because we just got done talking about the AFC, and it kind of almost sounded like we had a tier or maybe even a group of the Bills and Chiefs, even though we know the Chiefs have problems. but they still are almost seem unbeatable. I think in the NFC you have two teams above everyone else. And that's the Eagles and Lions. Now there's good teams in the NFC still. We're not saying that, but I think there's because because you still have the Vikings, you still have the Packers, you still got teams like that. But yeah, there's just a little break there. So in your eyes, who's in your opinion, who's better, or who's the best team in the NFC? Because I think it's got to be the Lions or the Eagles.
Right.
So who would you go with?
I would go with the Lions still, I think. Because when it comes down to it, I mean, if it comes down to like a quarterback leading down the field, I mean, I would much rather trust Jared Goff than Jalen Hurts. Like, just arm-wise.
Wow.
I mean, obviously, that's not how a football
game works.
But like,
you stole what I was going to say.
You got Jared Goff. I mean, he has 3 guys to throw to, and the best duo running back in the top. I mean, since I've been alive, probably, or at least since I've been super into football.
I guess I don't need to go more into it than that. I mean, you said what I was going to say. Yeah, it's still the Lions. I think they have the more well-rounded, I guess, roster, at least offensively. I think they're a more physical team. Not saying the Eagles aren't physical. I just think the Lions are more physical. I guess just to play devil's advocate, because, maybe some people want to hear at least some argument here. I think where the Eagles are better than the Lions is the fact of the defense, because the Lions have so many injuries on that side. And so I would argue that the Eagles' defense is better, but I still think the Lions are more physical of a defense. But I think the Eagles have more talent right now defensively than the Lions. But yeah, I trust Jared Goff to lead a team down more than I do Jalen Hurts. I get it. Jalen Hurts has played in the Super Bowl. I get it. Jared Goff has thrown 5 interceptions this year. But when it really comes down to it, I am going Jared Goff. I've seen him. You saw him against the Chiefs and what they did, how many points they put up when he was a Ram.
Yeah.
So if he has to get in a shootout with the Chiefs at a Super Bowl, I think he could do it better than Jalen Hurts could.
Yeah, I mean, Jalen Hurts has literally done it, though. That was like 38-35, the Super Bowl they played.
That's fair.
But I don't know.
But also, too, think about it. We talk about Barkley. I mean, who else is really in that backfield?
Kenneth Gainwell.
Now do the Lions.
It's the exact opposite.
Yeah, David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs. Barkley's good. He's really good. He's MVP caliber.
Yeah.
But you got two just they complement each other. You have two complementary backs compared to just one, Barkley. Barkley gets hurt, there goes your run game.
Yeah.
Or any threat of a run game, honestly.
Yeah.
Gibbs goes down, all right, you still got Montgomery. Montgomery goes down, all right, you still got Gibbs. So, and then, Laporta, St. Brown. Yeah, some weapons. So, yeah, I'm with you. I'm still going Lions. But I think the Eagles have maybe the better defense talent-wise. But if we're talking physicality, which I think can win you a playoff game or even a couple, it's the Lions. So, I'm still riding with the Lions. But I do understand the concern of the defensive injuries. So, all right, I think that's everything. Erik, is there anything else you wanted to add from the weekend, week 13? We didn't even talk about the Chiefs getting lucky once again, some would say.
I hit an absolutely filthy 6 a.m. shift on Black Friday, so I came home and went to sleep then the entire Chiefs game.
Yeah, okay. Don't blame me, man. We got the grind. No, we don't have time.
I woke up and I was like, what?
Yep.
Yeah.
Another. I was on the field for that one.
Yeah.
It was fun. Yeah. It was fun. All right. Well, that was us. Anything else you want to add before I just end it? I was going to cut you off. My bad.
I really want to get next week. I think I might give out like a long shot college basketball national champion. Maybe.
Ooh. Okay.
I've been scouting. So
we'll stay in tune for that. That was episode 19 for what it's worth. Just talking NFC, AFC a little bit, but more NFC in this one. Go ahead, follow our socials. We're on Instagram, we're on TikTok, we're on YouTube, we're on Spotify. Just type in For What It's Worth podcast. at FWIW Pod. Go ahead and do that. Like, subscribe, favorite, comment, share, everything that you can do on whatever app it is. We greatly appreciate it. Until next time, Erik Kellgren, Calvin Silvers. We'll see you later. Have a good one.